Hello friends, my name is Salman and you are watching my channel Solid Tech. In this video I will start a new series of Ubuntu server administration. So basically this is a brand new series. In this series I will cover basic to advanced topic of Ubuntu server. So first of all I will discuss what is the Ubuntu server, what is the open source servers, and why we use this server. So basically Linux is an operating system like Windows and Mac OS. Linux is also an operating system, but what feature is different from the Windows. So the first reason why we use the Linux is that the cost. Because recently I bought some Windows Server 2022 license which cost me about $1,000. On the other hand, I will also publish my web server on Ubuntu server which cost me nothing. So the first reason why I choose this course and this series, because this series is very good for those who have a budget constraint. So in Ubuntu you don't have to pay any payment to any vendor. So this is the free of cost operating system in contrast to the Windows server. It is also called as a open source. Open source means its codes are available on the net and you can download it and you can use it, modify it and upload with your choice. And the third reason why I like this operating system is too much, because it is a lightweight, because its footprint is very lightweight. What does it mean? Footprint means the size of an operating system and the compute resources is required to run this operating system is very low. For example, if you install a Windows 10 or 11, you must have to have 30 GB of hard drive. On the other hand, if you install a Ubuntu server, you just need to 8 GB of hard drive and 8 GB of and 1 GB of RAM. So you can easily run with limited resources the Ubuntu operating system. Also this open source Linux operating system is very secure, because there is no viruses reported on the Linux, because in Linux the kernel is very robust, and it is not easy to hit Linux operating system very easily, because it have permission on every directory of its operating system. Also it supports multi-users application like web server. For example, if you run any website on a Windows server, it may consume a lot of resources, RAM, hard drive, or so many things. On the other hand, if you use a Linux server, it will uses only very minimal hard drive or compute resources. So basically, what is Linux distribution? A Linux distribution is an operating system made from a software collection, and it's based upon the Linux kernel and often a package management system. Basically, what is Linux operating system is composed of? Basically, it's have mainly three components. One is called the Linux kernel, which is the source code of the Linux, and other one is called GNU shell utilities. Shell utilities are those utilities which is used to interact with the operating system or to use some application on that top of that operating system. On the other hand, we have some desktop experience in Linux. For example, we have two distributions is very important, like two variant of desktop version which is called Genome and KDE. I will discuss in my future lecture in detail what are these versions. So basically this is the Linux kernel. Basically the Linux kernel is open source. You can download it and use it free of cost. So this is same to all the distribution of Linux. And this is another term which is very confusing. This is called a GNU operating system. Basically, what is GNU operating system? GNU is an operating system that is free software. It respects user freedom. Basically, this is the community which prepared this suite of applications for use as a free of cost. So basically this is also called as a GNU operating system. So Linux is also, some flavor of Linux are also free of cost and falls under the category of GNU operating systems. So there are so many flavors of the Linux. The flavor of Linux is also called distributions. So basically, if you want to know what are the distributions are there for Linux, there is a website which is called distrowatch.com. So I will visit this website for you. So I will open this website. As you can see, distrowatch.com. This site listed all the version of Linux, updated Linux version, old Linux version, and their category and major distribution. On top there is a link which is called major distribution. I click on that. So it will list down all the major distribution nowadays on the top of the list. So here you can see the first Linux is called Linux Mint. Basically Linux Mint is used for the desktop operating system. It is not used for server operating system. It is used for desktop operating system and used by end user like me, you and others. Likewise the second one, which is my favorite, Ubuntu. Ubuntu also is open source and free of cost operating system. If you want to know the further detail of any operating system, you just click on this, like I clicked on the Ubuntu. So here you can see type is OS, and you can see the home page of this distribution. If I click on the first link, it will goes to the Ubuntu website. As you can see, now I am landing on the Ubuntu website. Here you can see I have so many options. For example, if I go to download, so I can download the desktop version, which is 22.04 LTS. LTS means long-term support. Long-term support cover up about 5 years support for this operating system. Likewise, we have a Ubuntu servers. So in this course, I will discuss the Ubuntu server. So in my future lecture, I will show you how to download this Ubuntu server. For example, if I click on the get Ubuntu server, it may redirect to another link, and there is an option 2, manual server installation. I click on that, and you can see if I click on the download Ubuntu server, its ISO file is starting download now. So as you can see, this ISO file is downloaded now. For now, I cancel this download because I just want to show you how to navigate on DistroWatch. So DistroWatch is a website where you can find all the information about on the distribution. For example, I go to major distribution, as I show you the Ubuntu second one, and MX Linux, Arch Linux, and Gentoo Linux, and Slackware Linux, and Debian Linux. These are the all version of the Linux. So the other question arises whether the Linux is totally free or have some cost. So basically there is two version of Linux. One is called Enterprise Linux. For example, one most important distribution is called Red Hat Linux. If you go to first link, Red Hat Enterprise Linux, so you can see this is the charge Linux, because if you clicked on the buy it will cost you a charges. Why it will take charges from you? If I click on buy and click on buy online, so you can see the cost of this Linux. So as you can see, it is started from 349, which is very less as compared to the Windows Server. As I told you, I purchased my Windows Server 22 in thousands of dollars, but in the other hand, Linux Server costs 349, which is 1/4 of my Windows servers. Basically, this cost is why they charge this cost, because they provide you the support. They provide you online support. They provide you on the patches. So if your environment is very critical, you should go with the enterprise version of Red Hat Linux or SUSE Linux. These are the two distribution which is used for very critical environment. So let's move to my slides. So now so many different choices: Ubuntu, Debian, CentOS, Red Hat. Basically these are the different version of OS distribution of Linux OS. each has their own uses. Why we use these types of distribution? So because each have their own uses, each have their own specific feature. For example, if you want to operate your computer, so you need a desktop version. So in desktop version, desktop focused distribution, Linux Mint is the favorite. Linux Mint are all the graphical tools, all the user friendly tools installed and bundled with Linux Mint. On the other hand, if you focus on the server side, like you have you are hosting your website on a web server, or you have some database server, you should go with the Ubuntu server, which is free of cost. There is also Linux distribution which have some vulnerabilities in their operating system for testing purpose. Basically, some people uploaded this vulnerable Linux distribution on a site which is called vulnhub.com. So I will show you. This is very interesting site. So in this site you can see this tab is called virtual machines. So here is some users on all over the world uploaded the machines with some vulnerabilities in it. So you can see the difficult level is difficult and the difficulty is easy, and difficulty level is very easy. If you are pen tester, or you want to solve the problem of this machine, or you want to fix the problems or security issues with this machine, you just click on that and you can download. As you can see, this is the OVA file which is about 2 GB and this can easily be open in VMware workstation. So you can fix it if you are if you are interested in pen testing or security related issues. So now let's move. So as you can see now, vulnerable distribution ISO also available in vulnhub.com. And there is some Linux which is which have very little footprint. What does it mean? It means the size of Linux operating system is very tiny, because now IoT devices uses the operating system of tiny Linux. So you can easily go with the tiny core, which is also a distribution of Linux. Now nowadays you can hear very famous sound Kali Linux. Basically what Kali Linux is used by a pen tester for testing the vulnerabilities in your operating system or your network. Basically this totally focused on security related features. So this is the different Linux distribution which is available free of cost. You can easily download and use them as you want. So that's why I like Linux operating system, because if you have medium level expertise in Linux operating system, you can easily get the job of Linux administrators about costing about $1,000 per month. So if you have expert, you can go with more salary on the top of that. So this is a very stable job. I saw persons in my future in my professional life, some guys who are performing the duties of Linux administrator are doing well in last 12 to 10 years and getting a handsome amount. So if you are interested in those type of jobs, so you should watch all the videos, so you can easily get the relevant experience on the hands-on on my lectures which is covered by the Linux. So for this lecture, thank you very much for your time, and we will see you I will see you in a next lecture. Thank you very much.